If you are someone who knows a Medicare subscriber, our next guest has tips for you when it comes to enrollment. Every year, individuals who are on Medicare plans have an option to change their plan during the annual enrollment period from October 15th through December 7th. Joining me today is Natalie DeMeis, the Barnum Financial Sales Director. Welcome to the show, Natalie.
Thank you.
All right, so let's start with the basics about Medicare. Do you have to enroll in Medicare when you reach 65?
Well, it depends.
Okay.
If you need health insurance, you need to enroll in Medicare Part A and Part B in order to enroll in a Medicare Supplement or Medicare Advantage type of plan. If you're currently covered under your employer's health plan or your spouse's health plan, you do not need to enroll in Medicare.
Okay, now do you have to collect Social Security if you're enrolling in Medicare?
No, a lot of times it looks like it's done at the same time, but a lot of people prefer to wait till full retirement age to collect Social Security. This way they get a larger Social Security benefit.
Oh, okay.
But you only need to enroll in Medicare when you need the health insurance.
Got it. All right, now hear about penalties with Medicare. How do you avoid paying these?
Well, with Medicare, there's a lot of rules, and it's important to understand when to do things and when not to do things. Medicare.gov is a wonderful website, or 1-800-MEDICARE, to understand what a lot of these rules are. But if you can even download the book, it's Medicare and You, and it tells you about all the rules. But it's important that you do things when you're first eligible, otherwise there are some penalties.
Okay, and we're talking about the annual open enrollment period, which is happening the 17th of October. How do you start? What do you need to do?
Okay, well, October 15th to December 7th, someone who's currently on a Medicare plan, whether it's a supplement with a prescription drug plan or a Medicare Advantage plan, they have a choice. They can take a look at their plan and make a decision if that's still the right plan for them, or decide to switch over to another plan. So they have that period of time to make a change, and that change would be effective January 1st.
And then how do you decide which plan is better for you? What are, I suppose, some of the differences?
Well, it's really important to look at the plans every year because the plans change. So people who are currently on a plan will get an annual notice of change letter. In that letter, it will tell them the changes from their plan from 2013 to 2014. It's important that people take a look at that to make sure they understand what's changing. But what you want to look at is your prescription drugs and how they're treated in the different carriers with all the different tiers. If you're in an HMO type of plan, it's important to check your doctors and make sure your doctors are all in network. And then where do you live? Do you live always in Connecticut? Do you live part of the year in another state? You want to make sure you can see doctors in those states.
Drug formularies and tiers.
Tiers,
Tell us about that.
So they go in a numbering system. A tier 1, the lowest number, is a preferred generic. And the important thing to understand is Medicare has a formulary, and then each insurance company has a different formulary. So a prescription on one carrier might be a tier 2, another carrier might be a tier 3. So it's important to understand because that could be a lot more expensive for you. So they go from tier 1 and the tier 5 being more expensive.
Got it. Now, Natalie, if you don't take any prescription drugs, do you still recommend signing up for the prescription plan?
Well, again, we talked about the penalties earlier. If you don't enroll when you're first eligible and then you try to enroll, there will be penalties. The other thing is today you might not be on any prescriptions. You don't know what tomorrow's going to be. So it's better to be safe than to be sorry and to enroll in one of these plans.
I often hear about the donut hole when it comes to Medicare, and I don't really know what it is.
Yeah, the donut hole is really, it's a gap in the prescription drug coverage.
Okay.
So whether you're on a Medicare Advantage plan or prescription drug plan, there's this gap in coverage. So it's when the retail cost of your prescriptions equals $2,850. It's a large number, but people get up to that number. So when you hit that much in the retail cost of your prescriptions, you go into this coverage gap. During that period of time, you're paying a percentage of the cost of the drugs. You're paying 47.5% of brand name drugs, 72% of generics, until your true out-of-pocket is $4,550.
Got it.
Another big gap. So that's the gap in coverage. Once you hit that number, then you go into catastrophic coverage, so there is more coverage available.
Natalie, you are a wealth of knowledge here about Medicare. Tell us a little bit about Barnum Financial.
Barnum Financial Group, we're a full-service financial services firm, and for a lot of our clients that we work with, they had a lot of questions. So we developed a department specially dedicated to helping our clients with their Medicare questions and when to enroll, what type of plan to enroll. So that's what we do.
And the great thing is you have some upcoming seminars.
We do.
Really scattered across the state. So if you want to go to one of these, it's pretty easy. We have them up there on the screen, but run us through them.
Okay, great. We start this Wednesday in Shelton, and we go from Shelton to Glastonbury to Guilford to Stamford. So they're all over. We have them going in October and in November.
And how do you sign up for these?
Just call the phone number on the screen.
That's pretty easy, right? And of course, we also have the website up there, barnumfinancialgroup.com, and you can answer some questions there, correct?
Perfect.
All right, thank you so much for being here, Natalie.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, we are going to talk about the American Cancer Society and learn some exciting ways that you could help prevent cancer when style returns.